What do you work full time here and do your stuff on the other side?
100, 100.
100, 100.
100, 100.
So what does that result in?
200% of output.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me a typical day.
So, like, wake up in the morning.
So can you tell me?
100%, 100%.
Tell me, so tell me
the thesis for like why marathon is everything, like why I can do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's just I don't.
So what was the term you said to me? You said you don't have to train, you just commit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I go to this, my mom, when I was super young, she like showed me how to cross a busy highway before all of my friends were allowed to cross the busy highway.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as I figured out how to cross the highway, I figured out how to ride my bike across the city. And then inevitably that just translated to state lines, national lines, global travel. Through travel, you unlock ways of thinking where you press on buttons faster because you're put into uncomfortable situations where you need to bend or like figure out faster.
So how did she teach you to cross the road?
She just very simply was like, you press this button and you wait patiently, and then when the light changes colors, you walk across the road. And for everybody else, it was like this massive, scary thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah. It's like you could get
using cars, you could die.
Yeah.
You're gonna die if you try to cross the road.
You can't cross the road without me until you're like 21 because you're gonna die.
Crazy. So
that's cool.
It just like disarmed me with everything, right? So everything, right? It's like, you want to run a marathon? Go run a marathon. You want to speak a language? Now the difference is, I don't like. Yeah, I want to play guitar. So I bought a guitar the first time I said that out loud. The first time I said, I want to learn how to play the guitar, I went out and I bought a guitar, like so many people.
Yes.
And then I didn't really want to do that. I faked myself out. And in those moments, you just got to be real. Like, I faked myself out. I played myself.
I actually don't want to.
I played myself.
Yeah. I don't want to go through the process of learning how to play guitar.
Not right now. Like maybe at some point. But
yeah.
What's up with you?
Well, we're, like, it was like the alumni for VoiceCon in February.
Yeah. Was it that long ago? A year ago? Yeah, I guess.
Was it February, VoiceCon? March? And we sat around and I said, this is what I want to do.
Crazy.
Yep. And then moved here 4 months ago. Mm-hmm. Set up the business, employed Helen, engaged these guys straight away. Yeah. So I went office, employee, videographers with no revenue. Yep. And just have gone, because I totally believe in the strategy. Yep. I have enormous respect for the opportunity to be here. Mm-hmm. And every day I look at the Empire State Building, which is my anchor that sort of reminds me how humbling it is to be here, but also it's so cool. Inspiring. Yeah. So I just go, oh my God, like, I'm in New York City and I'm like starting a business here. I'm 42 and I'm like doing this amazing thing. And at the same time, it's like, she's also saying to me, but just be aware where you are. Like, like this is serious stuff. And it's like this incredible, the learning that I'm having would be the same as my 5-year-old. The amount of learning. And I think, made me think I've been getting stale maybe because I knew I just knew how to do my job before.
I mean, it's when people sometimes leave here, the reason is like, I just really need to go and see if my shit's real. Like I just really got to go out into the world because I've gotten really comfortable and I learned how to win here and I understand how to win and I got to do these things. I got to be a good person. I got to do my work. I've got to over-index on giving a fuck. Like, these are the things I need to do in order to win at VaynerMedia. I know what I have to do. And like, I'm not full inside anymore because I need to go make sure that my shit's for real.
Yeah.
And they step outside and they figure out whether or not they were faking themselves out or
Yeah.
if they weren't.
Yeah.
And like you've done it on such a crazy level.
Yeah. I know. And you know, like I feel, and it's so interesting for the kids because they're just, it's like I refer to it as like they've got a front row seat in dream chasing because basically that's what I'm doing. I'm just chasing a dream that doesn't really make much sense, and they're just watching. They're just watching
makes
it
sense right now to the outsider. But
No.
it'll make perfect sense in 20 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because I and it's like this stuff. Like I believe in the strategy of vlogging, for example, and personal brand so much. Like there's probably no strategy I've ever had that I believe in more. And in Australia, everyone's like, "What are you doing? Where is the return on investment?" Like they can't comprehend that I'm doing something that probably won't show any return for 3 years, 5 years. You know, this whole thing is not going to show. And the other thing that's really interesting is like I was saying to someone the other day, I said, like, this is my goal. In 5 years' time, I want these things here. And actually, I have all of those things right now in Australia. Yeah. So it's like, I have all of that, but it's in the wrong place. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it all behind to build it all again because it's here. It's just like, not messes with your head, but it makes you know, you look at things so differently because it's like, it's actually just not about the stuff. Yeah. It's about the experience.
Yeah, the adventure.
It's about the adventure.
You get too comfortable, we seek adventure.
Yeah, everything's an adventure. It's like I'm just loving the journey, and it's like, and I feel like before I always felt like I never had time. Like I never had time for the big goals. I always was striving to get here by this age or this thing. I don't feel like that here at all. I feel like I've got all the time in the world. I've just got to stay afloat. And I just enjoy the experience. Like it's such a different mindset because I was just constantly chasing the next goal, the next milestone to prove myself. It's just
to everybody but yourself.
Yeah, I don't know, but and it's not. And I would say that the ambition is the same, if not more. But it's just it's like in different clothes. So it's such a interesting experience to have, and I think because and I think the age I am, and because like I've been in business for 11 years, I'm not starting, so I've got all this like learning from that, and then to sort of start again with that experience or with that age, like having had kids and all of that sort of stuff, and then to like do what a 25-year-old would do, you know?
Yeah.
That I think is why it's been particularly interesting for me.
I feel like there's less distractions here too, though. Like when you're at home and you're in the midst of the company and it's nonstop, everybody's knocking on your door, calling you, like you're removed from all that day to day.
Yeah, I mean certainly life will change in August when the boys come, because then I've got them, and that's going to be completely different. So I'm also really aware of enjoying, like even though I find it hard, like I can have an awesome day and then like I'll get on the subway and burst into tears because I'll be like, I should be going home to my boys and I'm not, but I'm having an awesome time. Like this is just messing with my head. But I'm really like, oh, enjoy this. Like enjoy that, you know, I don't have to, you know, I can just focus on the things I want to do. Yeah, that's my first goal, is to be able to get them here. Yeah, that would be amazing.
I don't feel bad that I've orchestrated exactly the life that I want to lead. Like my family knows I love them. My mom wants, but both my parents, my mothers want to kill me right now. I haven't like given either one of them a Christmas list, right? Like they're like, just send the list, and I don't physically. I'm not prioritizing it to where I'm gonna actually give them a list, right? And it's like infuriating.
I've been having that fight for the last 15 years.
Nothing
I never tell anything.
is making them like more upset with me right now than the fact that they think that I think that I'm too important to give them a Christmas list. Like I don't have time, you know?
Yeah.
For them. And I don't feel bad that I've chosen to lead exactly the life I want to lead.
Yeah.
From the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. Because I know exactly where all these people, whether it's in a professional or a personal or in a romantic capacity, fall within the spectrum of my life. And when I feel like they need attention and I need to give to them because I haven't, and like it's just a personal barometer thing.
Yeah.
So I understand why you're saying like you get on the subway sometimes and it's hard, but like at
Yeah.
the end of the day, like I don't spend 6 months with my grandma. I don't talk to her on the phone for 3 months, and then I get on a plane and I go spend a week with her. Like it's just you know. But
I love it.
Yeah, the changing it all at 42. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what?
I'll see
Like,
when I get there.
I don't feel like people talk about, you know, mother guilt and how, like, I just don't feel that at all. Like, I feel like my kids and I are on this project of chasing a dream, and
They seem so supportive.
they're so into it, you know,
So
and
awesome.
yeah, so it's like I'm all I want to do is teach them to chase dreams, and I can't tell them to do that. I have to show them, and so I think that, you know, you feel bad when you're not doing what's true to you. You know, that's when you start, you know, judging others or being bitter about things. It's not about anyone else. It's just because you're not doing what you really want to be doing, and you're trying to blame something external for that. So, it's because, you know, I can't do that because I feel guilty, or I can't, you know, those people are this or that. I just don't feel it. I never look at anyone else and think anything judgmental really about what they're doing. And I think that's to do with, because I'm just doing what feels right. And also, you know, there's no attachment to it. Like, if in a year's time I just went, nah, I've done it, I've had enough, I have no problem with that. I know that won't happen, but at some point there'll be something else, or there may be something else. And so it's like, that's fine.
It
doesn't matter.
It's that perception of time too. It's like, 42 years old, right? Other people are prioritizing different things than you are right now, but like, I'm gonna be around for a long time. I'm taking care of myself. Like, this is nothing right now.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like such a short amount of time in the whole scheme of everything.
It's like more than anywhere else. This is a place where.
This is the place to be.
I
Yeah.
had that feeling when I bought the 40s ticket.
Yeah.
People were like, why were you going to go do that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it just feels really right.
Yeah.
You know, and I've made great friendships. Like,
Yeah.
I had no idea what it was going to come from. Like, I always tell people, like, I didn't learn anything new. Like, I followed Gary super closely. I knew all of it. Totally.
Yeah.
That wasn't what it's about. It's being around the right people.
Yeah,
You know,
it is.
It just something happens. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, I agree.
With Steve Jobs has that quote about connecting the dots later.
Yeah.
That famous
Yep.
speech.
Yep.
There's no way you can connect them going forward, but you go back and like, oh, this led to this, led to this, led to this.
Totally.
But there's no way you could have predicted it.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, I was, I think in the most recent vlog that we haven't launched yet, we were talking about that. It's like everyone else seems to be really concerned about the fact that I don't know how it's all going to. I haven't got it all figured out, but I'm not at all worried about it.
Most excited.
It's like everyone else is really worried about it, but I'm not worried about it, because you can't say it's all figured out, but you know in your gut, but you can't show it because it's you know.
I mean, I smile so big because I know.
Yeah, it's like, oh, don't worry, I can't tell you how it's all figured out because it's not, but I know that it is.
Yeah.
It'll play out, and it'll be fine. You know, I know. It's not like, and I can't prove anything. Like, I've got no proof of that, but
they're really on some other shit.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
like every friend of mine ever.
Yeah.
That's how they feel about me.
Yep.
They're just like, he's just on some other stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah.
Do you find it harder sometimes to connect with older friends that are maybe stuck in their patterns? And stuck in their ways?
Not because I resent that they're stuck in patterns.
Right.
Just because I need to quickly transition to where we were, as opposed to trying to be where I am.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. But just be quicker about it.
Yeah.
And not like.
So you can connect and have a relationship at that
like
time.
A good time.
Yeah.
Right. It's not about like when they ask me like how I'm doing and what's going on. It's not like I'm gonna get on some wave about
Not important.
ambitions to like take over the world. Right. It's like I'm just like everything's really good. Like I'm super happy.
Went to a cool
Just
restaurant the other night.
That's
And
it.
yeah.
What's going on with you?
Yeah.
Kids are great.
Yeah.
Like, and then we make fun of each other. Like they're going to soccer practice, and that's awesome. We make jokes about parents that we remember from soccer practice.
Yeah.
It's like I just gotta transport myself there faster sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting ready to go for the holidays and I'm like mentally prepped already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Even with family.
Yeah.
Like family isn't gonna always
No.
understand. Like there's definitely components of my family that see what I'm up to. Half of my family thought that my girlfriend and I were just kind of like we had screws loose.
Really?
Yeah, they're like she's super earthy and she's a yogi and they develop these perceptions. And then like they only see us because they see us on the internet and they're just like like we lead a different life. We live in New York City and like we have a different setup than they're used to, and anybody at our age would be thinking about marriage or something, and like the fact that those things aren't even on our radar,
that baffles them.
they're just like they're kooked, right?
Yeah.
And then individually we'll get to spend time with them one-on-one.
Yeah.
And it's just like you like watch their eyes open for the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I told you fuckers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I told you.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
takes such a tremendous amount of internal confidence and self-esteem. The world, it's kind of easy, but the friends and the family part, I think that's what
I agree.
holds most people back.
You need to make your vlogs, really be pushing the consulting work, and it's got to drive business.
Right.
But every time we film stuff, and then I'm just free, I don't talk about that. I talk about the journey, like the sort of stuff we're talking about tonight, because ultimately that's what I'm really curious about. Is like how people think and work, and what our journeys in life. And actually today we'd had a meeting about next year's vlogs and like, where it's at and what we're wanting to do. And it's like, what, I just need to document like what's really comes out naturally, rather than having this, oh God, we've got to be able to use it to put it in front of prospective clients, because ultimately I personally believe that will all play out
100%.
anyway, even if I never mention the work that I do.
It does,
it will. But other people that don't get the strategy, other people that don't get the strategy can't see that this could lead to this when they don't, when they're not the same. And so, it's interesting in the meeting today. I've just been thinking since, like, no, you know what? I know that this will pay off. In what way? That who knows? But I believe in it so much. So it's sort of like, bugger off, everyone. Just trust me. Just let me do my thing, and if I can just do my thing, it will happen. But like, I think it's hard for people to not see that this plus this then equals this, and this is, that's really hard.
It's really hard.
It's really hard, and
it's even harder when you're wired like me, and you like. It's difficult for me to like break it down for people.
Yeah.
Like explain my choices.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it.
Because you don't 100% know the end, like.
It's really hard to explain.
Look at this guy.
Hi.
How's it
I know.
How are you, ma'am? We're happy to see you, obviously.
This is so weird.
And awesome.
What's up, man?
Hey, D-Rock, how are you, man? You good?
Yeah.
You good? Yeah, amazing, thank you.
Yeah, so me and my buddy had a podcast that we were doing, and that's why we were like into the whole entrepreneur space.
Right.
I was a filmmaker, not like this, and then I was like, okay, this guy is cool, I'll reach out to him. Right. As soon as I made Clouds and Dirt, I sent it, like, he tweeted it out individually to like a bunch of people. I copied all of those people, there were like 90 people. He was literally like, yo, Chris Brogan, watch this, Seth Godin, watch this. So I copied every name into my list, and then I literally DM'd each one of them like, hey, I'll do a video for you for free. I did that for 90 people. I got like 4 or 5 people to say yes. Chris Brogan was one of them, and like all these people, and then like literally I was about to do them, and Gary was like, yo, do you want to work full time?
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But then I was like, but I committed to Chris, I gotta help him, and all these other people, so.
Right. That's awesome.
That's how it kind of worked out.
And then, like, I really am so shocked that you're not getting people you're telling people exactly what you.
Like, you gotta think about it. Like,
Yeah, but they all say that they want it.
At all. I think people just don't want it. Like,
They think they
want it. They said, hey, like, hire me. Here's my resume. Here's my video that I do. I'm like, cool.
Right.
Great. You spend, I don't know how long on that video. I don't know how much content you have of what we do.
Right.
I need to see something that I would post for Gary.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Show me. And then they're like, okay, cool. And then, like, life takes over. People might not be lazy, but life actually takes over.
So closing out from GV's office, which is a pretty cool place to close out. Had such a good night tonight. I love coming here and talking to the guys, and just we're all in the tribe. Hey, I'm closing out. Do you want to come and close out?
You're closing out?
Closing out.
Instagram Live, we'll close out.
How should we close out my vlog?
What episode is it? What's the theme of the episode? Anything? Thanks, Trent.
We don't know what episode it is.
So
We've put so many out.
document, don't create, and just wing it and have a crack.
He's been watching my vlogs.
I'm learning Australian slang.
Yeah.